Here with reaction to tonight's big breaking news, author of the upcoming book. It's going to be out June 5th and available for pre-order now on barnesandnoble.com, Hannity.com. It's called Trump's America, The Truth About Our Nation's Great Comeback. Former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. I want to talk about your book, but not now. This... sorry, I love you. You're family to me. But when you look at this, and Ted Olson, and Mark Penn, and Cheryl Atkinson, and now even the New York Times and Washington Post, well, trying to get ahead of what they failed to do for a year and a half. And the deep state is real, and the effort to undermine the president is real. FISA abuse is real. Spies in the Trump campaign are real. You're the great historian. Tell me where in history this will stack up to.
Well, I think it's rapidly becoming the biggest and the most sobering political scandal in American history. Somebody pointed out earlier, back when J. Edgar Hoover was spying at Lyndon Johnson's behest on Richard Nixon, we thought it was terrible. Back when they had a break-in at the Watergate, we thought it was terrible. This is a multi-year effort that has two different fronts, and people need to always remember that. One front was protecting, propping up, covering up for Bill and Hillary Clinton. The other front, as Trump became more and more serious, the other front was to stop Trump at any cost. Now, I believe that the reason you see people like Sally Yates go berserk, you see John Brennan go berserk, you see General Clapper go berserk, they're all guilty. When you see somebody in the Obama team who gets that rattled and is that angry, what you know is they're scared to death that they're going to get drawn into all this, and their role is going to come out, and it will involve, I think, felonies. And frankly, I suspect it reaches to President Obama. It's inconceivable that President Obama could have had this many things going on and not known it, because his administration was very controlling and very tight. And I think we're going to discover all the stuff in the end ends up at the Obama White House and has the president and his senior staff's fingerprints all over it.
The question remains, what did he know? What did Kerry know? What did Susan Rice and Ben Rhodes know?
Sure.
What did Clapper and Brennan know? We haven't even talked about unmasking, but you're right. Hillary gets a rigged investigation, and then comes the effort to undermine a president or candidate, then a president-elect, and then a president in the United States. And you put spies and you lie to court, you lie to FISA judges?
I think the number one thing the average everyday American can take from all this is that the corruption was so deep at the top. And again, remember, we're not talking about the everyday FBI agent doing their job. We're talking about people at the very top. And those people were so corrupt and so arrogant that they thought they could get away with anything. And so they just proceeded down the road, protecting Hillary, covering up Hillary, giving immunity to people who are breaking the law, and then going after Trump and going after Trump's supporters. When all of this comes out as one in a way that's easy to understand, which may take, frankly, another year or a year and a half, because there's so much of it. And every time we turn around, as you know, another piece unravels. And you've had more big stories in the last year and a half than I would have thought possible. And again, you've been right. And inch by inch, even the New York Times is having to concede. And I think, by the way, Mark Penn's column today is a real breakthrough.
Agreed.
Because here you have a genuine, unqualified member of the left saying this is a threat to all of us, and we have got to get rid of Mueller because he literally threatens every American's freedom.
Mr. Speaker, you understand the Constitution. You understand checks and balances, separation of powers, constitutional authority, oversight of Congress. How dare Rod Rosenstein, who already is conflicted in this by recommending the firing of Comey and signing one of the FISA warrants, how dare they not turn this over to Congress? But that's what they have done. What should Congress do? You were a former speaker.
Well, first of all, I think it's beginning to move in the right direction. I think the president's beginning to weigh in to reinforce the Republicans in Congress. I think, General Kelly being given this assignment is a very tough, very serious man. And I think he is going to impose on the Justice Department doing their job of turning over legitimate, appropriate information to the legislative branch. But everybody ought to remember, you mentioned the Constitution. Remember that when they were done writing it, Benjamin Franklin was asked by a woman, what have we got? And he said, we have a republic if we can keep it. This is one of those great tests in American history. Corruption came close to destroying the liberties you and I believe in.
And if Hillary got elected, none of this would have come out. Scary. Mr. Speaker, we appreciate your perspective, as always.